प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासुरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गोकुल ब्रज मंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदाते गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योगमाया की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know what was the problem with my mic. Anyhow, you got the second half of the Jaitwani. Um, thanks for pointing that out, though, Gokuleshwari Didi. Okay, so we'll do Mangalacharan and then begin. Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Shrimar Bhakti Vedanta Nārāyaṇiti Namine Shri Krishna Lila Kathane Sudaksham Audarya Madhurya Gunaishcha Yuktam Varang Varenyam Purusham Mahantam Narayanam Tvam Shirasa Namami. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Keshava Bhinna Rupine Shri Shrimar Bhakti Vedanta Vamaniti Namine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Acharya Singharupine Shri Shrimar Bhakti Pragyana Keshava Iti Namine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Tavai vasmi na jivami tvaya vina iti vigyaya devi tvang nayamang charanantikam bhaktya vihina aparada lakshay kshiptascha kamadittaranga madhe Kripamai tvam sharanang prapanna vrinde namaste charanarvindam. Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams, Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, um, Srivas Prabhu, Gokuleshwari Didi, Nitai Mukeshji, and Pradyumna Prabhu, Mantramurti Mataji, Pramila Didi, Ganga Mataji, and all the other devotees, Indira Mataji, Raseshwari Mataji, all the other devotees watching, also the devotees watching in the future, Dandavat Pranams. So we are continuing our program going through this question, all these question and answer articles in the early editions of Bhagavata Patrikā. So all written by our Śrīla Gurudeva Nityalila Pravishta Shishimad Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja. I think this is our 5th day of reading these articles, our 6th day, including Śrīla Bhāgavata Gosvāmī Mahārāja's. No, I think I can't remember. Anyways, whatever. Maybe it's more. I don't know. I'm spaced out. But yeah. So today, what are the topics for today's articles? Today's question and answer series. It is um, the eternity of the soul, the difference between Kāma and Prema, and the notion of fate. Those are the topics for today's reading. And yeah, these are all being translated. Srivas has been translating all these articles by Śrīla Gurudeva and other acharyas, and I mean, so many different things. And he's been putting them on bigdrum.us and bigdrumpublications.com. So if you want to receive all these new things that Srivas is translating, you can go to both of those websites and sign up. I'll hand it over to you now, Srivas.
Everyone who's listening has heard you advertise those sites many times.
Yeah, for anybody who didn't join the previous programs, I just do it in each one.
Okay, all right.
And really, like I mean, the stuff you've been putting out is just like there's every time it's like complete gold that nobody's ever seen before. Like, and you should have like thousands of subscribers. And yeah, anyways.
Good, let's keep it small. Let's keep it small.
Yeah.
Api siddhanam, amongst millions of muktas and siddhas. Yeah, okay, so the eternity of the soul. This one is framed a bit differently, just in that the questions are separated out. So one question at a time instead of all at the beginning. Yeah, so it's question 1. In Gita, it is stated that one who takes birth is certain to die, and one who dies is certain to take birth. On the other hand, it is said that by performing Hari Bhajan, this affliction of material existence, repeated birth and death, ceases. To what extent is this true? Surely one of these statements is incorrect. So someone is taking issue with Gita. If the cycle of birth and death is endless, how is it that it also ceases by doing Hari Bhajan? Answer. As Gita is the essence of all the scriptures, starting with the Vedas and Upanishads, and more importantly, since it is the words issued from Bhagavan's own mouth, there is no chance of it containing contradictions or any other sort of flaw. In it, through Anvay and Vyatirek, through affirmative and negative logic, a singular core subject is put forth. Thus, these two statements are just two sides of a single core conclusion. Nowhere is there any contradiction between these statements. Apprehensive of the impending outcome of the war, Arjuna was overwhelmed by lamentation and bewildered as to his duty. Not seeing any other recourse, he took shelter of Bhagavan Krishna and entreated him for proper instructions regarding his duty. Bhagavan Krishna first demonstrated to Arjuna the eternity of the Jivatma, soul, and Paramatma, supersoul, and the temporary nature of the gross body composed of 5 elements. Then he tried to show him that even though their material bodies take birth and die, the souls of the living entities do not take birth or die. The jivas are minute transcendental fragments of Bhagavan, and like Bhagavan, they are beyond birth and everlasting. This is the conclusion of all scriptures. Therefore, it is not proper to lament over the destruction of material bodies. Even if you subscribe to the views of theorists who oppose the above conclusions of scripture, and you believe that the body itself, which is always being born and dying, is the soul, or you do not believe that the soul is unborn, indestructible, and different from the body, it is still wholly unbecoming to lament for the annihilation of the ever-changing body, because it's something that's always changing, always dying. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityur dhruvam janma mritasya cha tasmad parihadyarthe nattam shochitum arhasi. Bhagavad Gita 2:27. In other words, for that which takes birth, death is certain. And for that which has died, birth is certain. And even if you do not agree with this, it is still not proper to lament for inevitable death. Thus, from any point of view, it is improper to lament, because it's inevitable, even if you don't believe in the soul. Death is inevitable. Through this verse, Bhagavan has simply instructed that one ought not to lament, even from the point of view of dry and ignorant logicians. This does not mean that the body is the soul, and those who are trapped in the cycle of birth and death cannot be liberated from it. The actual conclusive truth is, according to the Mammaivangsha Jivaloke verse of Gita 15:7, that the soul, the jiva, is a minute spiritual part and parcel of Bhagavan. Even though the jiva is unborn and indestructible, upon becoming averse to Bhagavan, it is covered by Bhagavan's maya with gross and subtle bodies, and suffers a 3-fold set of miseries until it settles back into its eternal constitutional nature and attains Bhagavan. The donning and discarding of material forms by the souls bound by Maya is called birth and death. Upon attaining Bhagavan, the torrent of birth and death stops. The jivas who are averse to Bhagavan have to fall into the cycle of birth and death. This is laid out in Gita as follows. Ashraddhana purusha dharmasyasya parantapa aprapyamam nivartante mrityu samsara vartmani. Gita 9:3. Parantapa, Arjuna. Those who have no faith in this dharma do not attain me and continue to wander through the cycle of death and material existence. Abrahma bhuvanaloka punaravartinorjuna mam petitkonteya punarjanma navidyate. Arjuna, all the realms, 14 lokas of this universe, up to Brahmalok, or rather all the inhabitants of those realms, take repeated birth. But once one attains me, one never again takes birth. Aside from this, there is Janma Karma Chame Divyam Evam Yo Vedi Takta Deham Punarjanma Neti Mameti So Arjuna. O Arjuna, my birth and activities are transcendental. He who knows the truth of them is not reborn after giving up his current body. Rather, he attains me. Mam eva ye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. Those who seek exclusive refuge in me easily surpass this maya of mine. That's just like Gita class today. One verse after another. Om ityekaksharam brahma vyaharan mam anusmaran yap prayati tyajandeham sayati paramam gatim. That's Gita 8:13. Anyone who leaves their body while chanting the one absolute syllable Om and remembering me attains the supreme destination. Hare Krishna Mahamantra also works. Mam upetya punarjanma dukhalayam ashashvatam naptuvanti mahatmanaha sangsiddhim paramam gata. Having attained me, great souls do not take birth again in this fleeting abode of misery, as they have reached the supreme perfection. In these and other verses, it has been established that by attaining Bhagavan, one is liberated from the cycle of birth and death. So there are no contradictions in Bhagavan's instructions in the Gita. As long as the jiva is averse to Bhagavan and indulging in the objects of the senses, he will continue to take birth and death. This is the general conclusion. However, as a result of a stock of pious activity accrued either knowingly or unknowingly, the fortunate jiva attains the association of saintly personalities, gradually gains devotion for Bhagavan from them, and in the end attains Bhagavan, thereby attaining freedom from the cycle of birth and death. This is the special process. So, question 2. Does the mood of Kāma, lust, exist even in beings composed of pure spiritual consciousness? From what I can judge, lust is a matter of the gross senses. In Venu Gita, it is said that lust was kindled within the gopis when they heard the flute's song. Why is this? It's a good question, because it's used in the actual verses. Sometimes the word Kāma is used there.
And smara.
Mara, right. Yeah. Gopinam smara, right. So the material world is the shadow of the spiritual world. Though some resemblance exists between the body and its shadow, skewed and contradictory aspects are more visible. Prema is the body, Kāma is the shadow. Prema is a spiritual affair, Kāma is a material perversion. The shadow of transcendental Prema is in this material world in its corrupted form called Kāma. So Prema and material Kāma are not the same. The gopis especially are wholly spiritual, and they are superior to even the eternally perfected beings, so the muktas and the siddhas, for they are the manifestations of Bhagavan's Ladhini Shakti. They are Sarva Lakshmi Mai, embodiments of all the Lakshmis. In these gopis of Braj is eternally perfect Prema for Krishna. That pristine Prema of theirs has been referred to as Kāma in transcendental pastime descriptions. Sanaka and others, Shukadevji and liberated personalities like Uddhav, hold on to hopes for that Prema or Kāma. Prema eva gopa ramanam Kāma itya agamat pratham it uddhavadayopyetam vanchanti Bhagavat Priya. That's from Gotamiya Tantra. Even the slightest scent of mundane and despicable lust is not possible within the gopis. Thus, in line with Gotamiya Tantra, the words smara and Kāma found in the verse pertaining to your question have been interpreted by all the commentators of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam as Prema. The original verse is as follows. Tad brajastriya ashuddhya venu gitam smarodayam kaschit paroksham krishnasya swasakhibhyo anva varanayan. Here, so that's Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 10:21-3. Here, smarodayam equals kāmodayam equals premodayam, or in other words, the arisal of prema. Besides this, there is one other interpretation. Smarodayam is the arisal of smaran, remembrance. In other words, upon hearing the sound of Sri Krishna's flute, the gopis were reminded of Krishna's name, form, qualities, and pastimes. And due to those memories, became fully absorbed. They began describing to each other the pastimes, etc. they were remembering in their enraptured hearts. Thus, in this verse, there is not even a scent of mundane, sensually tainted lust. In beings of pure consciousness, the mood of mundane lust does not appear. There is only immaculate prema. Conditioned souls who are averse to Bhagavan cannot even conceive of pure prema or transcendental Kāma. They think even pure prema to be mundane Kāma. This is their misfortune. Like a person who cannot recognize pure gold is swindled for thinking that rolled gold, it's a spelling mistake, gold, or gilding is actual gold. The unlucky jiva who cannot recognize pure prema thinks mundane Kāma and immaculate prema or transcendental Kāma are the same and ends up cheated. Question 3. Bhagavad, the notion of fate, seems to have come about only for the poor and those who tread the path of dharma. In this world, we see that most people are poor and sad. Some billionaires can also be sad. Are the ideas about fate just a means to pacify the poor, or can it be said that they are a misinterpretation of the theory of reincarnation? So, yeah, Bhagavad, I guess, yeah, the idea that whatever, if you've done good things, then you're going to get good things. In your past life, if you've done well, then you're going to be, if you've done so many sacrifices or something, you'll get lots of riches or a good wife, etc. Answer. The meaning of bhagya is prarabdha, or the fruit of one's previous deeds. So to say that the conclusions pertaining to bhagya or prarabdha are old-fashioned ideas, or just a way to pacify the poor is not correct. Rather, this is an indispensable and universal law for all living creatures. People reap the results of what they do. Generally, every action has a result. Some actions have instant results, like drinking poison. Some actions have delayed results, like sowing a seed and reaping its fruit. Likewise, certain results of one's deeds take a bit longer to receive, or are reaped in another birth, like being born blind, handicapped, or with leprosy. There are some actions that have no result, or very little result. Just as after sowing seeds, crops can be diminished or destroyed if there is not enough or too much water, or if the soil is poor, or if there is some other agitation in nature. By atonement and other such undertakings, the debt of one's actions can be lightened. Otherwise, by performing Hari Bhajan, one's karmic reactions can even be fully abolished. The ways of karma are exceedingly profound. I feel like people are always arguing about karma. The laws of prarabdha act on everyone equally. Blind, disabled, and deformed children are born to both the poor and the wealthy, to all classes. What to speak of big, huge wars? In the current war in Bangladesh, so I think this is in the 70s, Gurudev's writing. Have the wealthy families escaped destruction and calamity? No. Today, on India's eastern border, poor and rich families can be seen enduring the same pitiable conditions in refugee camps. Both types of families have had their relatives killed and their country destroyed. Say nothing of Hiranyakashipu, Ravan, and Shishupal. Even in the modern age of history, Napoleon, Hitler, Mussolini, and other individuals who thought the laws of fate were the delusion of fools, what happened to them? They too were bound to reap the fruit of their actions. Nowadays, under government auspices, a lottery system has been introduced. Are only rich people winning these lotteries? Do only poor people die, not the rich? In this world, the majority of people are poor and sad. This is true. The cause for this is also clear. Today in this world, most people engage in sinful acts, speak untruth, commit adultery, hurt other living beings, and engage in evil acts that are opposed to the Vedas. Who could deny this tangible truth? And it follows that most people are bound to reap that manner of bad results. According to some people, some billionaires can be sad, but they are only sad because of personal issues. Those personal issues are nothing but the results of the actions they have performed in the present or past. Hence, the meeting, separation, happiness, sadness, and everything else experienced by living entities is all the result of their actions. Karma pradhana vishva rachi raga jo jasa kariyato tasa phala chaga. I'm guessing that's Ramcharitmanas. The world is wrought predominantly of works. One reaps the fruits of what one does. We cannot exist for even a moment without engaging in karma, action. Therefore, the teachings of Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga have been given in the Gita. When we see our prarabdha, the fruits of our actions, we should take them as inspiration to perform auspicious acts. If something bad is happening in our life, we should think, I need to do more auspicious things. Those who lament fate and lead lives full of laziness do not know the secret of action, the results of action, and fate, or prarabdha. The truth about prarabdha gives inspiration to make life enthusiastic, relishable, and lively. See, karma often becomes becomes either an excuse. Oh, it's just my karma, and I can't do anything about it. I'm helpless. Or oh, such bad karma. Or if you say something bad happened to somebody because of their karma, oh, well, that's so insensitive and disrespectful. No, it's empowering. It's putting power in the hands of the individual. It's putting ultimate faith in the individual and in their actions that they have the power to turn things around. If something bad has happened, they're not the victim. If somebody has been awfully cruel to them, they're still not the victim. That was something that they had to go through, and it's correlated to their actions, which is correlated to something they can change. It's within their power to change. So this Vedic philosophy is not fatalist or defeatist. It's the most empowering thing, but somehow it gets the ideas get twisted around in our heads, and like most of what I hear about karma in the average dialogue is it's all this very disempowering kind of notions.
Yeah.
So the truth about prarabdha gives inspiration to make life enthusiastic, relishable, and lively. It inspires one to engage in sukarma, beautiful acts that are sanctioned by scripture. Suicide, adultery, violence, theft, etc. are not results of action which living entities are compelled to endure. Rather, these are all actions. So suicide, adultery, violence, and theft are not karma. Those are actions people are performing. Those are choices people are making. Man performs these acts himself or also refrains from performing them. So you can't just say somebody is the victim of the system, and so they're going to be a criminal. They're going to do these things, and so they're actually a victim. No, those are their choices. Man is in any condition free to act according to his own will, but he is bound to endure their results. Even among the poorest people, exemplary, truthful, religious, non-greedy, non-violent people can be seen. Conversely, adulterous, lying, vain, selfish, violent people can be seen among the richest classes. Shri Lal Bahadur Shastri, Abraham Lincoln, America's famous president of the past, when he mentions Lincoln, and others, due to their perseverance and the results of their deeds, became great men by worldly standards, despite taking birth in poor families. Though it is inevitable to reap the fruits of action, we hear of Ajamil and Valmiki and others being liberated from the results of action and attaining Bhagavan by chanting Bhagavan's names. Devotion to Bhagavan is not only uplifting for humans, but for all living entities. So that's the cheat code, is to chant Bhagavan's name. If you're terrified with all the horrible, sinful deeds you've done, either in this life or previous, then take the cheat code.
Jai.
We still have, oh my God, we finished like earlier than ever. Oh, we could talk about,
Yeah.
we could talk about the birds in Venugit since we read about
Yes.
it.
I mean,
Yes.
is that but is that like how like should that just like how long is it?
It's not that long.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
I don't have the text, but I have everything in my mind.
Okay.
I'll just ask you to do one thing. If you can Google Myna bird,
Yep.
Myna, look that up, and so we can see a picture of the Myna birds.
Okay. All right, got it here. Minor birds. Yeah, I just added a footnote about minor birds in the Gaudiya Gita Kucha.
So I came across mention of this in the Śrī Bhāgavata lectures of Gurudev's from 2003 that I've been working on. And it was particularly surprising for me to discover that I'm sure if you've been in Vrindavan, you've seen these unique little birds with their strikingly yellow beaks and eyes. And my mother denies this or doesn't remember this, but I remember very clearly when I was younger. We used to be on Parikrama and we'd see these birds and they would often be like pecking through the trash or something. And so I guess it was me who started calling them trash birds. But it turned, now I feel really embarrassed or almost offensive for having said that, because Gurudev, he starts describing so he's describing the beauty of Vrindavan, so in the context of of Śrī Bhāgavata, Krishna is remembering the Brajavasis. Rohini and Balaram are describing Braj. And so Gurudeva goes into a long, beautiful description of the beauty of Braj, of Vrindavan, of all the beautiful trees and flowers and lakes. And then he starts talking about the birds. What are the pakshis, birds, like in Vrindavan? There are two kinds of birds. One kind is Krishna pakshiya. So there's a bit of a pun going on. So there's the pakshis are also in pakshas. They're in groups.
Yeah, pakshi means birds, right, in Sanskrit. Yeah.
Pakshi means birds, but paksha also, but paksha means group. So if you're pakshi means you're partial. You're in one group or the other. So certain pakshis are pakshi to either Krishna or Radha. So the other group is Radha pakshiya. The tota birds, so the totas are the strikingly bright green parrots with the red beaks. They are the hare. So in Hindi, green is also called hare, like hari. They are Krishna pakshiya. Gurudeva says Krishna is Shyam, dark complexioned. So Shyam can mean green, like with Ram. Ram is also called Shyam. Or it can mean dark blue, like with Krishna. So those parrots, those green parrots, they are Krishna pakshiya, because they look like Krishna or Ram. And they're addressed as Hare, or they're called Hare, green. And they can imitate the speech of humans. Then there are the Maina birds. They too can imitate the speech of humans, and their voices are even sweeter than the tota birds. They will imitate exactly what a person says. So the tota birds say, "Oh, Krishna is very handsome." The Mainas say, "Yes, sure, when he is with Radhaji, then he is very handsome." The tota birds say, "Our Krishna is Madana Mohan. He bewilders even Cupid." The Mainas counter with, as long as he is with Radhaji, otherwise he's just Madan. If the tota birds talk about how Krishna lifted Giriraj Govardhan, the Mainas say, if Radha had not infused him with her Shakti, then he could not have done so. If the tota birds say how beautifully Krishna wears a peacock feather on his head, the Mainas say, do you know why he wears a peacock feather? Because Radhaji's name is written on it. If the tota birds mention how his peacock feather tilts to the left, the Mainas say that's because it is bowing to Radhaji's feet. Whatever the totas say, the Mainas refute. Just as whatever Krishna says, Radhaji refutes. How does Radhaji cut Krishna's words? Krishna says, open the gate. Radhaji says, who is there? Krishna says, it is I, Krishna. Radhaji interprets Krishna as a snake to mean snake and says, oh, you are a snake? No need to come here. You will bite me. Go back to the forest. Krishna says, come on, it is I, Hari. Hari also means lion. So Radhaji says, why have you come here? To eat us? Go away. Krishna says, no, I'm not a lion. I'm Hari. Oh, you mean you are a monkey? Says Radhaji, because Hari can also mean monkey. Go back to the forest. In this way, Radhaji subverts everything that Krishna says. And similarly, the Mainas that she raises and nurtures refute the statements of Krishna's pet Shuka or tota birds. So Krishna goes to Vrindavan to hear these sweet squabbles between the birds and behold the beauty of the forest. This is Ramana frolicking in Vrindavan.
Yeah, that's really sweet.
So I feel so ashamed that I called Radharani's, or at least the descendants of Radharani's own personally trained, super argumentative, super clever birds, trash birds.
Well, I think by translating this, you're doing your prayaschitta here or whatever.
Yes, I'm attempting to atone for I don't know how many times I called them that. And they're really unique and striking. I'm sure you've noticed them. They're very brilliant golden beaks. And that's why they're Radha Bhakshiya, because they have her color. Um, I didn't notice that they sang, but I'm going to be checking now to
So,
see if.
tell you something. Here in
Yes.
Hawaii, here in Hawaii, we have myna birds, and they're called myna birds, and they're amazing. You know, they love papaya seeds. So
Really?
and so we have a balcony, like we call it a night here, and then we're on the the second floor, and so I empty the papayas and I put in there, but they're like really they're very very on top of things, and they can imitate any sound that you can think of. They imitate
Yeah.
birds. Yes, yes, like they can even like some people. Actually, I used to go get a haircut in town, the little town near us, and the lady had a trained myna bird that spoke like a parrot.
Wow. I
They're
had no
so
idea.
clever. They're so amazing. So I just have to say, that we're fortunate to be able to see, and like you said, it's like Radha's representative in a way, that refutes
They're in her
arguments
party.
by other birds. Yeah.
Yeah, like even when Gurudev said it, that the Maina birds can imitate any speech, I didn't believe it because it was like I'm happy you confirmed that for me because I mean I've always just thought it was just parrots who could do that. I thought that was unique to parrots. I didn't know there was another species of bird that was really expert at it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Even
underrated
when
bird.
I was in Vrindavan in '76, and I lived actually probably in the two rooftop because I loved it up there. But myna birds will come, but you know, I just, I mean, I like birds, especially in Vrindavan. But this when I came to Hawaii that I saw their behavior and how they are. So it's so apropos that, like you said, Krishna says something and myna will refute it. I mean, one bird will say something and the myna will refute it. So it's like the representatives of Radharani. This is so wonderful to hear this. There's another Udipan here to have.
Yes. Everywhere.
Yes. Haribo.
You know the song that we Gurudev loved this like I remember Radha Priya sang it for Gurudev so many times, but the Kumkumapta Kanchanabja Garvahari Gaurava. So I recently found out the backstory because this is written by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami and it's in Govinda Lilamrita. And I added this footnote. Um, and actually, before I always thought that Shuka and Sari or Shuka and Sarika was like the male parrot and the female parrot, but
Mhm.
Sarika is Maina bird, right? And and so I'm guessing that that whenever it says Shuka and Sari, what do you think, Shivas? Whenever it says Shuka and Sari, it's referring to these like is Sari the same as Sarika? Like I think it's referring to the two to the totas or like the green parrots and the Maina birds, right? And so it
Yes,
could be
it's
male and female on both sides. It's not referring to their gender, it's referring to the
yeah,
species.
species. Yeah, I think this is a really prevalent translation error that's just kind of crept into all kinds of publications and sanghas. That it's the male and female parrots, but it's not gender based. It's very clear when you look at the definitions in the dictionaries that shuka is a kind of bird and sari is a different kind of bird. They're called sari, sarika. There's different spellings to it, but it's one genus of bird, the mynas.
Yeah, and so I originally had it male and female parrots, and then when Shivas mentioned that to me, then I changed it. But I put this note for after the Krishna Chandrashtakam. They both go together. Krishna Chandrashtakam first, and then the Radhikashtakam. So chapter 16, actually, if you think this is like if I should make any changes here, also let me know. But so this is in the Gaudiya Giti Gutra now that will be published. Chapter 16 of Shri Govinda Lilamrita describes Shishi, Radha, and Krishna awakening from their midday rest and sitting up on their bed. At that time, Vrindadevi approaches them, holding Kolukti, a young myna bird, Sarika, and Manjuvak, a young parrot, Shuka, her two gifted disciples. She instructs Manjuvak and then Kolukti to recite praises of Sri Krishna, and they recite a total of 105 exquisite verses extolling Krishna's incomparable beauty. And they're long verses also. They're not like, yeah. By this, the parrots become overwhelmed with emotion. Oops, I have to change that parrots. Good thing I'm looking at this with LED. Okay, so yeah, the birds become overwhelmed with emotion. Their voices falter, and they are unable to continue. The Sakis, fully absorbed in the sweetness of their words, also remain awestruck for some time. And chapter 17 describes how, on Sri Radha's indication, Vrinda strokes Manjuvak until he recovers. The two birds then, maybe I should change it. Anyways, the two birds then continue their praise, describing the qualities and pastimes of Sri Krishna, Sri Radha, the gopis, and others. Verse 49 states, after joyfully immersing themselves in the ocean of descriptions of Krishna's qualities, and then rising from that ocean, the Shuka and Sarika offered prayers. They offered prayers they cherished to their two lords by praising their divine attributes through the recitation of Sri Krishna Chandrashtakam and Radhikashtakam. So now,
So how much do you want to bet that the Shuka saying the Krishna Chandrashtakam and the Maina saying the Radhikashtakam?
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if we should even just put that like sung by Shuka and sung by, because it must be, huh?
Must be. I think that's adorable though. It was the Sari, right, who fainted and had to be stroked back to revive.
I have to look. Yeah, wait. I think wait. That Kolokti was. Wait, let's see. What are the names? The Kolokti was the myna bird, and Manjuvak was the Shuka. Yeah, so no, it was Manjuvak.
Was the Shuka? Okay, well that makes sense. Because otherwise I was like, really? That he fainted from Maina fainted from Krishna's glories?
Yeah.
Gopaleshwari Didi says there's another reference from Rupa Gosvāmī. Raga Mandala Vibhushita Vangshi Vibhramina Maranotsava Sangshi Stuyamana Charita Shukasari Shenir Vijayati Kunja Bihari. Yeah, Kunja Bihari Ashtakam.
Yes.
Oh, did you change the translation there?
No, I don't think so. I'll need to fix that.
You got a list for today.
Yes. Good thing you brought this up. Yeah, we're including the both Kunjabihari Ashtakams. There's Kunjabihari Ashtakam 1 and 2. I think Shivas translated the second one. Yeah. Cool. Jai Shukasari ki Jai. Maybe we still have like a few minutes left. Should we sing the Radhikashtakam? Or do you have any other? Okay.
I share very quickly about the other thing about the birds that I found from Gurudeva, but it's also I just heard it for the first time in the lecture. I think he was speaking to Tamal Krishna Maharaj, and but it's in Venugita, it's in Gurudeva's Venugita. I went afterwards and checked the verse, and I was like, how have I never heard this before? And it's about how when the gopis are glorifying the birds of Vrindavan, and so Gurudev says that from the verse you can interpret that there are two types of birds. There are the shukas and saris and kakus and peacocks, and they're all dancing and singing like they're doing kirtan. So those are the bhaktas. Those are the bhaktas who have been performing kirtan for so many lifetimes, and they've entered the spiritual world, and that's their service there. But there are other kinds of the kirtaniyas. So, but there are other kinds of birds. There are also so many birds, because Krishna also certain munis, many munis who've been performing tapasya, they also become qualified to enter the forest of Vrindavan. And those munis, they consider the trees of Vrindavan, the Kalpa-vriksha trees of Vrindavan, to be greater than the Vedas, because they can climb up on those trees and see Krishna when he's coming into the forest. They can climb up on the Vedas, means they can learn and study all the Vedas and have the Vedas all memorized, but still they cannot see Krishna. So the Kalpa-vriksha trees of Vrindavan are greater than the Vedas. Standing on their branches, the birds can see Krishna. And as they see Krishna, as he's coming into the forest, they situate themselves very carefully. They try to situate themselves on the branches that have lots of foliage, lots of leaves and flowers, because they know that when they see Krishna, they're going to probably lose their composure a bit. They might get a little bit dizzy. There's danger that they could, if they were just sitting on a bare branch, that they could fall off. So the verse very specifically says that the birds are sitting on these very lush branches, right? So why are they sitting on the very lush branches? There's other branches. It's because they're munis, because they might fall off, but because they're munis, because they're used to living in cottages. They're used to living in, thatched cottages. So they like the foliage, they like the leaves. But they're also a little bit separate. They all kind of spread out because they all kind of like their space. But they want to see Krishna. And so it was just the most adorable thing I'd ever heard, and a representation of how each individual's nature is very that is taken into account. I feel like that, I really like my solitude. I really like my space. Oh my God, am I going to be sitting by myself on a branch, kind of half drooping and fainted while the rest of my godbrothers are singing and dancing and doing kirtan over there for Krishna? Oh my God, I better start doing more kirtan.
I found the verse that Gurudeva was commenting on also. We're adding Venugit into the songbook also as well. This is tell me what you think of this translation
Really?
also.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. Prayo batamba vihagamunayo vanesmin krishnekshitam taruditam kalavenu gitam ahruhya ye druma bhujan ruchira pravalan shrinvantyamilita drisho vigatanya vacha. Oh mother, Amba. Oh mother, most of the birds in this forest must be great sages. They rise up to the branches of the trees with beautiful creepers so they can see Krishna. There they listen to the sweet song of his Venu with unblinking eyes, indifferent to any other sounds. Okay, so these are not the Kirtaniya birds. These are the Munis. That's so interesting, the Bhaktas and the Munis. Yeah.
Branches of I would maybe just put the lush branches of the trees, or the lush branches of the trees.
Sure. Yeah, I'll do that. To the lush
so I think
branches of the trees.
Pravala is the vines, but I think Ruchira means, in this context, it means
Lush.
lush. Yeah.
Okay, great. I will make that change. That's
Prayo
great.
Batamba. Yeah, and what Gurudeva was Amba, this is common for the ladies to say just to each other, they'll call each other mother. Oh, mother. Just the gopis talking to each other.
Yeah. Okay, so in honor of was it Kalukti, right? That was the female one. We will sing the Minor Birds. She's representing Radharani's bird Paksha. Radharani's Pakshi Paksha. Okay, I'm just getting the Mridanga. 1 second. And then we'll sing it. And I think this is a nice way to end today's program because Gurudev really loved this. He would have us sing this so often. 1 second, I'll be right back. Okay. Oops.
Yeah, these were the most haunting, beautiful songs that I remember hearing when it came to Gurudeva Sangha.
The Radhikashtakam?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Kumkumakta kanchanabja karvahari goraba Pitananchitabja gandha yeti nindi sorava O Ballavesha sunu sarva Vanchitartha sadhika Maya Mahatma Paraparma Dasya Dasturadhika Oravinda Kanti Nindi Chitrapata Shatika Krishna Matta Bringa Keli Pula Pushpa Vatika Krishna Nitya Sangamarta Parma Bandhu Radhika Maya Matma Pada Parma Dasya Dastu Radhika So Kumarya Srishta Palla Valikirti Nigraha Chandra Chandanot Palendu Sevya Shita Vigraha Swabhimarsha Baldavisha Kamatapa Padika Maya Mahatma Pada Parma Dasya Dasturadhika Ishvavandayo Batapi Vantitapi Yarama Upanavyayo Vanadi Sampadana Yatsama Śrīla Harta Yacha Sayatosti Nadika Maya Matma Pada Parma Dasya Dasturadhika Rasya Lasya Gita Narma Satkalali Pandita Prema Ramya Rupa Vesha Sargunali Mandita Vishvanavya Gopa Yoshit Alito Piyadika Maya Matma Para Parma Dasya Dasturadhika Nitanavya Rupa Keli Krishna Bhava Sampada Krishna Raga Bandha Gopa Yovateshu Kampada Krishna Rupa Vesha Keli Lagna Sat Samadhika Maya Matma Para Parma Dasya Dasturadhika Sveda Kampa Kanta Kashru Gadgadadi Sanchita Harsha Harsha Vamatadi Bhavabhushananchita Krishna Netra Toshiragna Mandanali Dadhika Maya Matma Pada Parma Dasya Dasturadhika Yakshanarda Krishna Vipra Yoga Santa Todita Ekantainya Chapaladi Bhava Vrinda Modita Ayatna Labda Krishna Sangha Anirkata kiladika mayamatma paraparma dasya dasturadika ashtakena yastvanena noti Krishna vallabham arshane pishaila jadi yoshirali durlabham Krishna Sangha Nanditadmadasya Setu Bhajanam Tam Karoti Nanditali Sanchayashu Sajanam Ayamatma Paraparma Dasya Dasturadika Mayamadma Paraparma Dasya Dasturadika Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Jai Rupa Raghunath, Jai Rupa Raghunath, Rupa Raghunath, Jai Rupa Raghunath, Jai Gurudeva, Jai Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Jai Gurudeva, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Could you hear the mridanga when we're singing Kumkumakta? Because I just noticed that the sound for musicians was off.
Yeah, I couldn't hear it until the Mahamantra.
Okay. That's so annoying. I turned it on and then it automatically went off again. Anyways. Could you do Jaidvani?
Jai Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai Jai Nitilila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Shri Srimad Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja Ki Jai Jai Nitilila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Shri Srimad Bhaktivedānta Bāman Gosvāmī Mahārāja Ki Jai Jai Nitilila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Shri Srimad Bhaktivedānta Trivikram Gosvāmī Mahārāja Ki Jai Jai Nitilila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Shri Srimad Bhaktivedānta Swami Mahārāja Śrīla Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Nitilila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Gosvāmī Mahārāja Ki Jai Jai Saparshad Jagaguru Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhu Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai Mahabhagavad Pravarshi Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Saptam Goswami Satchidananda Śrīla Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai Shri Rup Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath Shri Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai Shri Swarup Damodar Rai Ramananda Rishi Gaur Parshada Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Tribhura Mangal Harinama Sankirtan Ki Jai Hare Krishna Mahamantra Ki Jai Samagata Online Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Bolo Shri Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhaiva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo.
All right, so see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow's a Vyāsa-pūjā day of Śrīla Gurudeva. I won't be able to do such a long, like I won't, I think I could probably go till 8:30. But yeah, I have to go for a program in Mayapur tomorrow. So, but yeah, and I don't have any plan yet for like what we'll do in the program. So, if anybody has suggestions, let me know. But I'm not sure if you'd like to, like maybe we could do glorifications, or we could read something, or we could do anything. So, yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for joining. And just one thing, I just was appreciating how Śrīla Gurudeva would always speak very appropriate to the audience. You know, like his Harikatha, yeah, he wouldn't speak very high things to the general public, and according to what the audience was, he'd speak fully appropriately to. I'm just noticing that. Yeah. All right. Oh wait, let me just quickly look at the comments and then I'll stop. But Gopali Mataji saying that kukutus and Australia lyre birds, is that how you say it? They can learn to speak also. All right, Dandavat. Interesting, huh? All right. So yeah, Dandavat Pranams, Nari Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Shrivas Prabhu, Gokuleshwari Didi, Chatamai Mataji, Nitai Mukeshji, and Prajumna Prabhu, Mantramurti Mataji, Pramila Didi, Ganga Mataji, Haripriya Didi, Fuleshwari Didi, Champak Mataji, Haripriya Didi, Gopali Mataji, Vidyalalasa Didi, and a lot of devotees today actually. I only see the names of people who write comments, but yeah, Dandavat Pranams everybody. See you all tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranams. And then I don't know, tomorrow we'll celebrate Gurudev's Vyāsa-pūjā. I'm not sure if we'll do another day, something for Gurudev. If not, then we will continue our reading of Harinam Chintamani. I'll revise the first chapter that we went over, and then we will, continue on from there. All right. Hare Krishna. See you all tomorrow.